Hey everyone, so it is Saturday. It's May 20th, so I will post this later today because I have some channel messages coming through. I do want to remind you guys that Wednesday's video is going to be the pre-recorded one that I had from several months ago that I recorded and then I scheduled to post, and then I was told spiritually that the date needed to be extended to that particular day. So I don't know why, and then everything else since then has been like current up-to-date videos, right? So anyway, I have like all these messages coming through, and like, you know how I do my candle readings where it's some like compartmentalized into different people, it feels, or sometimes it's kind of enmeshed and I can't really tell. And that's kind of what I'm feeling, right? And it feels like a buildup, you know. It's like all this information, like, you know, how can I explain, like a dam, right? And the dam's blocked, and so it's like all this information that's being blocked is trying to come forward. And so I think I'm just gonna do it that way, where I'm just rambling a bunch of information out at you guys, because on the menu I have different subjects I want to talk about, like passed away pets, some things that I've been seeing myself. And so maybe if I just get this part out, then I can get to the rest of it that I feel needs to be talked about, even like this past life vision that, okay, who cares? Let's get on to you, okay? So there's someone out here, and the image that I'm getting is, and I don't know if this is real or more symbolic, because this is kind of the way I see some of these guys. You know, back, I don't know if it's still a thing with the man buns, but I'm seeing like this guy with a man bun, and he's kind of represented as like the hippy dippy type of guy, but he's a manipulative type of guy. He's like one of the worst kinds, because he has like this spiritual guru type of persona, but that's exactly what it is. It's a persona, and it's a manipulation tactic, because I'm hearing the term only love is real, and that is being highlighted to me as a manipulation tactic, saying, well, of course only love is real. That is true, but it's in a way to invalidate your feelings, or it's in a way to invalidate negative experiences. It's in a way to invalidate things that they're going to be doing that are treating you poorly, or even to the point of there's this feeling like it's like you are a certain kind of way, right? Like you have your own personality, you have your own desires, you have your own quirks, you're just your own separate person, obviously. And then they're this kind of person, but they're a manipulator, they're a master manipulator. And they are manipulating you, but it's hard to pinpoint because they have this persona. And so it would be like if, okay, this is the example, right? Okay, so I'm wearing like strawberry dress and a necklace, right? And I'm happy with this. But then if I was with this guy, then he would give me, I don't know, like what's something that he would give me like what's a tourniquet? I don't know, he would give me a muzzle, okay? He would give me a muzzle, and then he would give me like handcuffs, and not in like, you know, whatever kind of way. It's literally like, I want you to wear, he's not even telling me he wants me, it's like, I'm giving this to you because that is going to help you keep your mouth shut when you think too much and you talk too much, you know? And then I'm giving you handcuffs because, you know, I care about you so much. I don't want you to go anywhere because you might be in danger if you go out and you're, you know, public, you know, who knows what kind of people are out there. So to me, getting those things is like, you know me. You know I don't like those things. You know I would rather have jewelry, or you know I'd have another, I don't know, a strawberry cake, you know, because I'm wearing strawberries. So why wouldn't you just try and get me a strawberry cake? It's like you're doing things and you're creating this narrative like I care about you, Like, I love you. I'm doing these things to help you, to benefit you. But then he's recognizing your misery. That's not, because, okay, so that's the storyline that I'm getting at, is now I'm like miserable because I'm like, I should, that was an extreme kind of example. I don't know because I like pretty much, let's say I don't, here's something I don't like. I don't like plastic plants because I would rather just have a real plant. So it's like him constantly giving me plastic plants, and it's like, well, I should be grateful for it, but it's like he's making no effort to get, he knows me, so it's not he doesn't make an effort to get to know me. It's like he's doing it as a manipulation tactic, because then that deflates me, because then it makes me feel like something's wrong with me, you know, like I'm being ungrateful, or I'm not seeing, like I'm being spoiled. Like all of these things where that could be true, right? Like that could be true in certain relationships, that you just don't know each other at that point, or like they are genuinely well-intentioned, but this person is not. Like they're not. Like let's say, like here's just, I'm giving you these minor examples because this is what I feel it is like, you love shopping at Hannaford's and he keeps taking you to Trader Joe's, and you're like, I want to go to Hannaford's. He's like, I care about, like, he's not even, he's just like keeps doing things that he knows you're not gonna like, in order for you to just, it's to deflate you, it's to control you, because then when you're in like this confused, low state, then you're more easily manipulated, because he wants something out of you. I'm saying he and she, so I don't know if this is actually, but this is just the way that I'm seeing it. So it's like this person wants something from you, they want something out of you. It's like they don't desire you, they desire something about you. They desire something about, it's like something you don't even have though. That's what it feels. It'd be like if you're popular and it's like they want your popularity. And I keep looking, because I have I use Trader Joe's as an example because I have a Trader Joe's bag. And I don't know if it's the TJ or if it's something to do with Trader Joe's. Maybe they literally keep taking you to Trader Joe's and you're so over it. Which you should just go to Aldi's, honestly, my opinion, save that money, or go to Whole Foods, my opinion, any Hoodles. So if that's true, I have your back, and I like Hannaford's too. Like, get about with the Trader Joe's. I obviously have shopped there before because I have their bag, but I'm with you on that, okay? But do you get what, I hope I'm getting my point across with that. Because it's very much sneaky, and very sneaky, because you could easily, like anyone could easily look at that situation, and that's why you're looking at it, is like, what's wrong with you? Like they're literally taking you somewhere to go get groceries. And it's not like it's a bad place, but the point is it's not you. It's not you. And that they're doing it intentionally. They're not doing it because they're just, you know, in their own world. It's like, it's purposeful, it's intentional. And this is me telling you, this is supposed to, it feels like it's just an added element, because I feel like you're lost. You're very confused still. And I think this would be like just extra noise for you, honestly, because it's stuff that you've already thought about. It's stuff that you feel. It's stuff that people may have said, but it's it's like when you're in it, when it's abuse, it's psychological abuse. And when you're in that situation, I don't know what type of therapy or what kind of situation would help you get out of that. Like, I don't know what that is. I have a deck here. We can just see. I mean, like, what would you need? Like, what valuable information is that? What, I don't know. Let's just see. Okay, we have calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation, but it was in reversed. Okay. And I'm getting this energy, right? This vision, whatever, of this deer, right? It's a deer, and it's like, it's a marsh deer. And this marsh deer lives in the marshes. It's kind of this mysterious, mystical, beautiful kind of specific deer. But in the reverse, its antlers are plotted into the marsh. And it's this feeling of feeling stuck, right? And when the tide comes into this marshland, then that deer is potentially going to be in a troubling situation. Now, it's going to be very painful to get out of this situation. However, it's not impossible. It's a do or die is what it feels like. This feels very serious in the sense of death, whether this is like it's just like the end of what could be. Like, it's like you just choosing, you have the free will to just choose to go a different route, or you can succumb to this. It's not going to be pleasant in the sense of, you know, just imagine what that would feel like to have these attachments to your head and you're trying to pull yourself out of it. It's not going to be comfortable. But if you don't leave, then it will be the death of you in some way. It will be. That's what I see. I'm like so choked up. And then I notice her necklace, and her her necklace is oh my goodness. Her necklace is, it's essentially the evil eye for Italians. You know, it's like the little pepper. It's like a long pepper, like I forgot what it's called. It's very, 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 very long. And it feels like this information, like what I'm telling you is it feels like it's not supposed to be said to you if it were them. Like, they would not want you to hear this, because when we go back to this guru type of energy, it's like he would do anything to avoid you feeling this or believing this. It's like he has some sort of I'm going to call it counterintelligence, but it's not intelligent. And it's not anything to do with that type of thing. It feels, but it's like a spiritual counterintelligence. This just feels like a very spiritual, it's like you are a spiritual person, and like you're into this kind of stuff. I mean, obviously if you're watching this, and then he's also into it too. I'm saying he, she, I don't know. But we're gonna say your partner is into this as well, but it's manipulation. They're trying to curate, like they're trying to it's weird. Like, they're doing some weirdo stuff with you. Like, I'm seeing this image. I'm seeing an image. I don't know. What is it? Like a sea lion. I'm seeing a sea lion. So, you know, in San Francisco, San Diego, or is it San Diego? I don't know. You know where the sea lions are? Maybe that's important here for some reason, because it was just this random image of that. Maybe there's like a memory associated to that, because it feels like, or it's like something that you were looking at, and this is just to highlight who you are. I don't know, because I just saw an image of a sea lion and like water. And it doesn't feel like it's symbolic of anything. It's more of like connecting to you. Anyway, so it kind of feels like if you would have taken a trip somewhere like that, and then like something happened there that would highlight. It's like if you go back to that moment and you think about it, you would see where they did this kind of stuff. And what I mean by like weirdo stuff is like, here's the thing, is like, okay, let's vibe together. Go get your deck and tell me what you see. And then you say it, and then they try and coach you. And they're coaching you in the wrong direction, purposefully, to like instill doubt or to misguide you in some way. It's a long ploy with this person. Like, they're literally a scam artist that they took on the identity of this meditation type of dude, and that's not like they're a scam artist. They're a scam artist, and you know it, but then they're scamming you. And when it comes to like spirituality, then it's like, you see how it's like a cult. It's like a cult, but it's only you in the cult. This could be a very, very, very detrimental situation for you if you choose what to stay, like what you choose. So, this is what I'm hearing is like final and absolute. We have healing the heart, power of self-love in reverse, and it does feel like this is a situation where you have to go back. You have to I don't know how to really, you're not supposed to like erase everything. It's like so easily said than done, but going to a point of self-love, like you have to learn to love yourself. You have to figure out what you can do to find that. Like, you can use these spiritual gifts, right, that your practice or spiritual practices, we won't say gifts, but it's like spiritual practices, or you know, the kind of like energy or just that kind of thing around you. You can use those things to actually do what it is that it's here to do, which is to empower you, and from a place of truly recognizing and understanding to a level, to a depth that this person doesn't see, doesn't want you to see, that it is true that only love is real. And that also includes self-love. That also includes, you know, it's to say, I'm okay with who I am. And I may not be perfect, but where do my intentions lie? Or I may not be perfect, and I may have done some horrible things in the past, or I may have been manipulated by this person. I may have fallen into these things. I may have felt like I deserved it karmically for whatever reason. You know, I'm not saying that you have, but I'm saying these are like thoughts that I'm getting, where it's like, there are some things in my past and some things in my life where I feel like I deserved it in a negative way. And so it's this feeling of, you can still love yourself now, and you don't have to hold yourself to the same societal standards that exist where in truth you can never please everyone. You will always be someone's backstory of some negative thing, irregardless of how graceful and effortless you've gone through life. There will be some way that someone perceives the way you are in a negative fashion. And it's not your responsibility to continually hold yourself to those things, but it's your responsibility to take accountability for those things and to say, what can I learn from this and not repeat those things again? Or what can I learn from that and be better and kind of reverse those things. Like, let's say, like, so, thinking about like a drug addict that gets clean and then they go off and start doing counseling. It's like they go out and help these people that are in those situations to a magnitude that they wouldn't have been able to do had they not experienced that. So how can you genuinely come from a place of feeling those kinds of negative experiences and transforming it into something that is going to benefit people or to benefit yourself, right? And never mind about all that if you don't even want to do things like that. Although I did touch on a couple things that I didn't fully explain that is relevant to you that you should do your own work to kind of think about. But there is also another indication to also tell you that it's also okay to love the things that you do, not to a point that is detrimental to you, but being able to identify what things are actually okay. Like, you don't have to be a spiritual person if you don't want to. You don't have to identify with any religion if you don't want to. You don't have to do any, like, it's okay to make your needs known and to see when they're actually being met. How many times do you have to tell someone or show someone that you like certain things and they just completely disregard it? They may be saying one thing, but they're still disregarding it. How is it that difficult? Truly, how is that that difficult for someone to just figure it out, like, or write it down or do something that will show that they actually appreciate you for you, not trying to change you, which they're not trying to change you, truthfully. They don't give a crap, right? It's the point of making you feel like you have to change or even kind of like, it feels honestly like a game to them where it's like they know that it hurts you. Like, they know it's hurting you, but that's a way to get you to be more malleable in their grasps. And so it's like, for me, I like jewelry. I like dresses. I like strawberries. Okay. So that's okay. And if you don't like that stuff, then you don't like it. You don't have to. This is what I like. Okay. Like, it has to be something like that where you are seeing that it's okay. It's okay to be you. It's okay to be different. It's okay to you get it, right? But I think with this, it's very hard to figure out what is actually okay. And like, I think the biggest thing is there seems to be a lot of people around you. I don't even know if they're close to you. That's why I feel like if you're like popular or something, where it's like, it'd be like if you're Instagram famous, right? Or like YouTube famous or whatever kind of thing, like somewhere else, right? Where you have a mix of people who like you and a mix of people who don't like you. And it's like, even the people who don't like you know what you would like. And it's like so obvious. It'd be like someone buying me a bunch of gothic stuff. Like, I don't wear gothic stuff. I mean, some of it's cool, so I wouldn't, like, again, it's like difficult to think of like what I wouldn't want. Like even a muzzle would be kind of cool, not in like, again, a freaky deaky way. I'm just saying like stuff like that's kind of cool, you know, but it's like, stop getting me this stuff. It'd be like if someone brought me drugs, okay? Because I don't do drugs or alcohol. Although I was thinking about cooking with the alcohol, and then I was thinking about the drugs, and I was like, well, it would be funny to like joke, you know, and like do like a video, and I was like, that wouldn't be funny because that would just get me kicked off or something or like arrested. It would get me arrested. I forgot about that. But it's like that. It's like, why would you do that? Why do you keep doing that? Like, I don't want it. It's just this clutter. So I think there's like this identifying thing where if this is you and it's like everyone but this person knows you, like you're that transparent, you're that clear, you know, just who you are, like it's very easy to pick up on these things with you, then there's something going on there. There's something wrong there. And maybe in some ways this connection is to humble you in the sense of like you trying to appreciate those things that you normally wouldn't appreciate. But it's like you can, if you get yourself out of this stuck situation, then you could potentially be more well-rounded, right? Like then you could potentially be like, okay, now I know how to like chill out with someone, not be so demanding. It's like that kind of feeling where it's like you're used to getting what you want prior to this person. It's like, because I feel completely different than you. So it's like, I'm used to getting what I want. I'm used to doing my own thing. I'm used to all this stuff. And then this person manipulated their way into my life, and it just dismantled and bothered everything. And now I'm getting to a point where if they were out of my life, I would have all of these experiences and things that I learned from them. Granted, it was all a farce, it was a lie, but I could use that to empower me, and I could use that to be a better lover or a better partner or a better provider or a better listener or more appreciative of someone who at one point maybe I would be short-tempered because they took me to Trader Joe's when they genuinely didn't know. Like someone who would genuinely make decisions that weren't in alignment because they're still learning you. And that's obviously an ever-growing process with partners, irregardless of how long they've been together. You know, some people just go through that. And so there's that patience that they're going to teach you if you so choose to get yourself unstuck. Okay. Hold on. I want it to fall out. Here are your two choices. Let me pause for a moment. I really want a sip of my coffee. Okay, your two choices is this. If you continue the path that you're on and just throw caution to the wind and stick through this, we have sacred gratitude, reverent appreciation and prayer, and clairvoyance, inspiration, interpretation, and trust reversed. And I feel low energy. Like, literally feels like my body's shutting down. Literally feels like the death of someone. Like, just the worst of the worst type of misery, you know, where you just, I'm speaking from experience because this is what I'm seeing is like, I've been in a horrible relationship before where I literally would just do nothing. I wouldn't leave the house. I would just cry all day. I would literally just cry and I was miserable. I wouldn't even work. I didn't do anything. I was just misery. And they would go out and, you know, paint the town. So, not saying that they're doing, your person's doing that, but I'm saying like that's what it is. You're going to be ignoring your intuition. You're gonna feel resentful and bitter, but it's this thing of feeling like you don't even have energy for that. And it's the question of, am I ungrateful? Am I wrong for this? Am I supposed to like these things? Because I don't know if I really got touched on that enough. But I think that's the point, is like, if someone kept bringing me to these other places and you feeling like, oh, I should be grateful, you know, whatever. It's like, should I like these things? Is this the kind of person I'm supposed to be? Because who you were in the past before meeting them, you can honestly look and find critiques in that of where you could improve, right? We're not perfect people. You can do that and look and see where you can learn from your experiences, and grow. But then it feels like they're manipulating you into thinking you need to grow in a completely different direction that is not resonating with who you are. And because you weren't happy with who you are, and because there was little to no self-love prior in who you were, then you're following their lead because they have this guru type of energy to them, where you think, well, then I need to be more like that. But you can actually have that balance of being you and not being that. It'd be like if they want you to go without shoes and wear, you know, dreads in your hair, and you want to wear pink tutus and spin around in high heels. And it's like, you're allowed to do that, and you're also allowed to do that while being, you know, Christian, or I don't know, you can, God's not going to judge you to go to church in a bikini. That's the judgment of those people and all of that. But in truth, only love is real, and it really does not matter. You are allowed to like what you like and be that. And yeah, there's something there that you need to learn from this, that they're conning you. Not just trying to start drama. If you have a lovely relationship, then this is not for you. Think about the freaking, I forgot what he is again. The sea lion. Think about the sea lion. Okay. If you go a different direction, if you go towards your intuition, if you go towards what it seems, I'm just repeating, honestly, what I feel is I'm repeating what you've heard already or what you feel. This is something that's obviously already going on. Like, you already know this. It's just coming. You get it together. I have no idea who you are, and I'm just saying this. So you're obviously listening to this for a reason. Okay, I literally have no idea who you are. So why am I getting this? Think about that. We have healing heart, the power to give and receive healing. And it feels like completion. It feels like peace. It feels like you getting to a point where you don't harbor harbor is a very important word, like a sea harbor with the sea lions. Harbor is very important. So there's a harbor somewhere in this. Okay. It's this feeling of you not fearing pain, you not fearing isolation, sadness, depression. And again, this emphasis on death. It's this feeling, and I don't know if this is like, it'd be like being alone is like the death of you in some ways, or like being sad or being in that painful situation. It's very, very frightening. But you would get to a point where you're so focused on light, you're so focused on healing, you're so focused on love, you're so focused. It'd be like you going to therapy. It'd be, and taking it totally seriously, and just like hypnotized state, being like, this is, I'm putting all my energy into this, I'm putting all my everything into this, and all of this other stuff, these fears and everything, are gonna come crawling up on me, right? Because I don't know what this is, but it looks like a tarantula to me. So it's like this tarantula crawling up on you, where it's like, it'll crawl up on me, but if I don't react, it's not gonna go crazy. Like, tarantulas are very sweetsies. They're little sweetie babies. And so you don't have to let your mind play a story that'll get you all riled up. You're gonna be focusing on this. You're gonna be focusing on this beam. You're not even gonna, it's like you'll notice it, but it won't take a hold onto you in the way that it could if you weren't focused on the light and healing. But you would have to take it very, 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 very seriously, okay? Okay, moving on. February, I just heard February. This is the next reading. I'm only gonna do two because that was a long one. February. And I'm seeing purple. It feels like a purple blanket, like being blanket. Oh, look, it's like it's not, they're not wearing purple, but like that, you know? What is this called that they wear in certain religions? A burqa? But that's what it feels like. It feels like, and I don't know if this is you. It kind of feels like you and then something else. You know how like horses, the horses have like blankets on them? And it looks so cute in the wintertime. That's not a fart. I know I make a lot of those noises. That's my foot again. It is actually my foot. I'm being serious. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing is it's like that. It's like hooded, right? And I'm seeing a year from now, within a year from now, within a year from May 20th, so it could be sooner, you're gonna receive answers, you're gonna receive information, you're gonna receive closure on something that's been plaguing you. And I see two connections with two, it's like two, it's like a person and like something, like maybe like an animal, person, animal. And I see it's like two here as well. The reason why you don't have closure now is because the journey for you to have this information within a year from now is to spiritually guide you or to propel you through some sort of portal into like some other, it's like feels like an afterlife. There's this, okay, what I'm hearing is the details. It's a passing. Someone passed away, but it must be an animal, because you know everything I've been saying, I want to talk about animals and everything. It feels like an animal, and it's like this animal is now your guide into the other. It's like a gateway, a portal into some other side, some other realm. And they're saying like the details are important, you know, like the details of my passing, or like what happened and everything. Like, when you look at it from like a higher perspective, right? Like and they're not saying like when you pass from this world, but that's kind of the energy is like, as a spirit, like we don't care about the details. It's very human, right? Like death, pain, all of this stuff is like human. This is just part of the human experience, right? And so it's not the details of it. It's like the energy that's important, right? And I'm just seeing like different things. I'm seeing like x-rays, then I'm seeing needles, then I'm feeling like this, and this feels like from your perspective would be painful to see, but it's not, it wasn't painful for them. They weren't in pain at all. And they're okay. They're more than okay. And it feels like it makes me want to cry, because it feels like your energy, but then it feels like theirs, of like you kind of feeling grief and confusion and sadness and regret. But it's like it's regret because it's like, what could I have done? But it's not like you could have done anything. And then it's like, I wish I was there, or it's like, I wish I could have done more. I could have like held that. I don't know. It's all these feelings of like so many like thoughts, like all the thoughts you could ever think of a situation when you're grieving. And them saying it's okay. Like, it's like they are so grateful for you. They're so grateful to have experienced you. They're so grateful to have been in your life. They're so grateful just of existing as who they were, and you who you are currently, and being together. Like, there's so much gratitude there. And part of their mission, part of their journey, part of their reason for being. What is that saying? It's a Latin term, but it's like reason for being. Anyway, because I'm seeing that it's in Latin. Not like the Spanish, but like Latin, like ancient old Latin. Anyway, they're your guide, like literally going to guide you through some gateway, through some portal into this other side, and they're going to show you, or they have shown you. They've already shown you, but it's like you're gonna be exploring more of this other side with them. Okay, I have my coffee, and I was just thinking and blowing my nose as usual. I was thinking about, I got this image and it looked like Sylvia Brown, if you know who she is. And I don't know a lot about her, but there's something I do know that I remember, and it was her naming her guide, or her saying the name of her guide, Francine. And I don't know if the detail of that is significant to you in any way, but what I am seeing is, I'm just seeing, the image I saw was Sylvia and Francine. Like I could see them. And it was like Francine telling her everything and like showing her around, explaining to her things. She could talk to Francine, Francine would tell her things, and I just see them like best friends. And it's a feeling of disconnect where Francine's obviously a spirit, and Sylvia, when she was here, is a person. So there is that disconnect, but also like feeling that disconnect from Sylvia's end on like these lower conscious levels, right? More of your like thinking type of level, and seeing it as separate. Like it feels like no matter if I feel like I'm going to those places or whatever, I still feel the reality and the reality that I'm here on earth, right? But the energy and I'm seeing that with you and this person or animal. I feel like it's an animal, because it's like a Pegasus, and you're like riding them, like you're riding this like Pegasus, and they're showing you. It makes me want to cry because it's so beautiful. They're like showing you like life eternal. They're showing you like where they are. They're showing you where they are, like that they're okay, that it's so beautiful, and like you don't have to worry, and that it's like these answers that you want, this closure that you want. It's like you're going to get that within a year, and there's a reason why. It's like this pursuit of that is guiding you to continue this connection with them, so they can show you these things, and you can be more psychic, right? Like Sylvia is psychic, so I feel like there's that connection there where it's like you're going to be more in tune, or you're going to be more faithful, you're going to be more just that belief or understanding, or even grounded in that, knowing that, right? And yeah, that's what I see for you. Okay, we'll do just another one, even though I think my nose is running. Then I'll be fast. Sacred action. Oh my goodness. Idyllic times, the garden, paradise. One moment. That's what I literally call the other side. Like what I saw with my pet that had passed away was a garden, and I literally call it paradise. It feels like paradise, and I see this here. There's no way this is not an animal. And I mean, this is you, right? Decisive focus, sacred action. It's like you exploring paradise, you really seeing it for sure. Like hyper focused, hyper tuned in. It's like really just there, right? Like taking your soul, body, taking your spirit and putting it there. Like it's like you putting your, how do I say it? It's like you going into a meditative space and being there and really seeing it and experiencing it and feeling it and knowing it and accepting it and loving it. It's like, that's your best friend forever. That's your best friend. Yeah, so that's what I get. I thought I was gonna do a lot more. I'm sorry. Let's just do a general if you stuck through. I'm pooped. I need to take a break so I can tell you guys the other stuff on the menu. Okay. Circle of eternal joy, balance, angelic assistance, divine guidance, loving support, stability, standing firm, timelessness, dance of life. I have to blow my nose again. What I feel is there's direct guidance from the other side, let me specifically say who from the other side, okay? Now, this looks to me like Mother Mary, right? And that could very well be Mother Mary, or some sort of religious component to it. But when I, again, think of religion in the sense of what I connect with religion, it comes from a sincere place, and it comes from the truth. It comes from the truth, and the origin, and it like links me all the way up to the origin. That's what I'm seeing when I'm saying religion, and when it comes to this, and it feels very blessed, right? That's the word I'm getting, blessed. So guardian angels, archangels, these other higher angels that are not identified anywhere in some, I think it's probably in some religious texts, but it feels there's these other beings, other angels that are very powerful and serving the light. And then what I'm seeing here with these other beings is it feels more of guides, and guides in the sense that they're like higher. It'd be, how do I it'd be like, okay, like let's say, I'll say how it kind of comes across is like other dimensions of beings that are of a higher awareness or higher consciousness, where they can guide you, but they also exhibit light and dark aspects. They're like higher level humans, right? Like it's like more connected, more conscious. And so when I've talked about kind of like connecting to people's guides, it's like you have appointed guides to you from the light, and then you can also kind of choose your guides in the sense of directing your energy towards different kinds of things, whether it's like a demon, different stuff, but or it's like passed away. It doesn't really work that way, honestly. That gets you into some squirrely stuff, but it's like other things there, right? It's like other things you can choose. And so what I'm seeing here is these guides, but do you see what they have the ability to kind of just it's like telling you stuff, but it's like you being aware of them. We'll say it that way. It's like you being aware of them and then determining your energy, determining the kind of person you are and your intentions, and all, not just your intentions, but even your more practical application of this, and having proper discernment with this, of identifying who is like a good person, right? Who has good energy, and communicating or connecting. It's not really, I don't like the word communicating, because I think connecting's, it's like in between communication and connecting. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say with that, but it's like that. There's a feeling there of mutual awareness and a mutual kind of back and forth transmuting energy, if you so choose, back and forth. And when it comes to this reading, so specifically for you, then I would say that this is positive, right? This isn't you going off the rails to something you shouldn't be doing, because there's the balance. There's a balance here. We're saying that you're meant to, or supposed to be doing this type of thing or type of work, or even if it's not intentional, or it's like you're not putting a lot of effort into this, it's you still it's like you're still doing it if you know about it. Like, you should at least be aware of it, because then in some way that's you doing some sort of spiritual work by just being aware. And it feels like you seeing the future of an event, or you seeing something happening in the future that's being regulated and dictated in some form. There's some sort of connection with these otherworldly beings. I'm gonna call them otherworldly, I don't know. It's like there's some sort of connection there where they do have direct influence on this plane. I don't know if it's the world, but like somewhere around here, there's like some sort of influence here. Yeah. And you seeing that, and then you also combining that or connecting that with pure light, like with purity, with like God source. Okay. So let me just take a breather really quick, and let me tell you about all this other stuff that I was going to tell you about that I had written down.